frame it in terms of 20 strong, and just give you some things that have helped me throughout my career, whether you're in the Army, in the military, ROTC, or you leading an Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. I think these 20 things come to life. I'm gonna hit a couple of them, but not all of them. I'm just gonna hit a couple. And I think the first one up there, which I think is number 3, because I'm a Trey, so it says positive mental attitude. PMA. So the way you talk, the way you act, the way you walk represents you. I'm gonna say that again. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you act represents you. And brothers, when they see you, hopefully they're seeing positive energy and a positive mental attitude, right? So when I walked up here, hopefully you didn't say, oh, that's that guy in that Green Army uniform. Hopefully you see the positive mental attitude that should be displayed by all the members of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, because we are leaders of character. Leaders of character, so that's positive mental attitude, right? I'm gonna hit a couple. I'm not gonna be long, I promise you, brothers, I'm not gonna be long. So another one that I'm gonna talk about, and I think it's important, regardless of what you do when you lead, is your audio has to match your video, right? Now, I'm not a preacher. I think Chuck did a good job, Obey the Champion did a good job. So I'm not trying to preach, but your audio has to match your video. And I say this all the time to younger soldiers, right? Because sometimes they don't care about what you say, they care about what you do, your impact, right? You can tell me you're gonna do this and this and that. It's kind of like the brothers when we got highway cleanup on Saturday morning, and on Friday, they're in the club. So me and a couple of my friends, you know, I may dip down with the club with them, but what I'm gonna say, hey, Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, I need to see you picking up that trash with me, right? Because your audio has to match your video. Brothers, y'all with me? Okay, we got a little silent there. I didn't know if y'all gonna kick me off stage or not. I didn't know, I was just trying to understand this, right? In everything we do, we gotta think diversity. I put that down there, right? But when you think of diversity, I want you to think in 4 dimensions, not just 2 or 3, right? It's the diversity of thought too. So when Brother Grant came in with the music, I said, man, I gotta steal that idea. So Brother Grant, I won't have California, because I ain't from California, but y'all know I'm thinking of, all we do is win, 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 no matter what. I'm thinking of a song that I gotta come through. Man, I was so impressed by that, by diversity of thought and diversity in everything we do, right? If you're leading on a committee, don't have everybody just gonna say yes because you the head of the committee, right? I'm bringing it home because I've been there, done that, all right? So have a person that's gonna challenge you. We're gonna talk about that in a minute because that's what makes us better. Iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. And sometimes we don't want to be challenged, but as leaders, we should welcome that challenge. We should welcome it with open arms because that's what makes us better, okay? Next slide. So I told you, I'm gonna try to hit it and get going, all right? So you must be comfortable being uncomfortable. And there's no better way to say it than leading Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. So what I didn't tell you is, I've been the bosses of 8 different chapters all throughout my walk at Omega. And one of the hardest leadership challenges I've ever had was leading the members of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. It's a beast, right? Sometimes when you are the highest ranking, it's real easy. You tell them what to do, they move out. But once you pledge and you volunteer, brothers can walk off on you, right? They can walk off on you in a minute. So you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, right? So that means sometimes you gotta call truth to power. And I'm gonna go back to Brother Grant. When he said, I'm gonna sess them, the GDIs. I said, wow. Straight up, right? Truth to power, you gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable. Sometimes we don't wanna say that. But he made sure we was clear and transparent, and I appreciate that type of leadership. That is the bold leadership that we must have. right? All the time. That is leadership 101. You gotta be yourself, right? Okay, I got a couple more. I think I'm gonna go to the bottom and then work my way back up. Because I think leading has to be fun, it gotta be natural, and you have to be authentic. I just poured a lot into you just now. Has to be fun, you have to be authentic, right? So that's one of the reasons why I came today, because they said you have come a long way, and brothers, I'm gonna tell you, for the brothers in this room, and I know a lot of you, y'all know I came a long way, right? And I'm here to tell you, I wouldn't be who I am without some of these brothers in this room, right? And these brothers know who they are, right? And what they told me is, Landis, they told me something else. You know, I got a nickname that I'm not gonna say right now. But Landis, you gotta be you. You gotta be your authentic self. Because that's what brothers need, and that's what will make brothers want to follow you, your authentic self. And I will tell you, when you're leading, that's the first part. You got to find your true North Star, your authentic self. What are you about? If you are about people, which by the way, I'm really happy that the Army went to Be All You Can Be. How many 80s people we got in here that remember Be All You Can Be? Because we talk about people, readiness and modernization, but when you talk about being all you can be, that's in everything you can do. I can see that, I can touch it, I can feel it. So when we went back to this motto, I said, man, that's powerful. That's powerful. And I asked some of my soldiers, I said, what does be all you can be mean? And that really showed my age. Because what we think be all you can be means doesn't really resonate. But the point of the matter is, it touches it. And that's what matters. And that's what leadership is all about. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about your authentic self. Okay? So I'm gonna stop on the Maddox 20 strong. I got one more other point, one more other slide. Then I'll open it up for questions. Go next slide, please. Okay, next slide. That was more of a military slide. I want to get to this because I think this is important. I think there's 4 different types of mentors that we need to have. 4, right? 4 different types, and you see them there. And this is really for the young folks out there. If you don't know, hopefully you take a picture of this, because I had a wise man tell me this, and it resonated with me. And I don't care what industry you're in. I don't care if it's dealing with Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. You need a coach. Everyone knows what a coach is, right? I'm from the Houston area, so I'm a Houston Texan fan. Don't be mad at me, don't hate me. So I put a fellow alumni down there. I was gonna put my coach down there, but we went through so many coaches. I don't know what to do, but a coach, somebody that can give you advice, that coaching type of advice, right, that you need, that can call you up, right? The cheerleader. Now, some people say, well, Colonel, brother, why I need a cheerleader? Everybody needs that motivation, that bump of encouragement. So if you don't have a coach and a cheerleader, you need to go out and get it, right? And then we got 2 more on the right side, my right, probably your military left. Y'all didn't get that, that was a joke. I was trying to get a joke on. Okay, bros didn't get that, okay. So, I got a challenger. And I pause right there, because this is the one that a lot of us don't have. And I got one mentor in particular that is my challenger. And that's the reason why I put this slide up, right? You need someone that's gonna tell you about the other you. Y'all know what I mean? It's 3 parts of you, right? Not the cheerleader part of you, but the blind spots that you have that make you a better you. That make you a better you. And you're not gonna be comfortable when they tell you what you need to change, right? But I had to embrace this part, because they said, Brother Maddox, you're going into a different realm. You need to understand, these are some of the things that I see from you that you need to change. And I paused. And I thought to myself, wow, okay, let me receive this. So This is the area that I think, brothers, you need to seek out a challenger. Seek out a challenger. Okay? We could talk about that a little later. I was trying to look for my other C, but the slide, move the slide back. Can y'all see that other C? Okay, I'm glad I got a little help. The connector. All right, I appreciate that. So this is also a very important one that most of us don't have, especially in the military. We call it a sponsor in the military. This is the person that's gonna get you from good to great. This is the person that's gonna move you where you probably don't wanna go, that you should go, right? This is the person gonna tell you, you're gonna do this, this, and this, and yield the results. Everybody needs a connector. In this thing called Omega Psi Phi, if you don't have a connector, you need one. I'm telling you, you need to know the brothers. We're in a network, but is someone gonna, put it bluntly, bump for you? Y'all know what I mean? You gotta have somebody bump for you when you're not present, right? A connector. So bros, this is 4 mentors, types of mentors that you need to have in your Rolodex. On call. They can be 1 person, 2 people, 10 people, 15 people. Somebody asked me, how many mentors do you need? As many as it takes. And they need to be diverse in nature, right? Don't always go to the shiny object. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, I must be hurting a couple of people in here. I get these stares, Brother Grant. I don't know if they hurting me right now. I don't know. Brother First Vice, Grant, I don't know. You may not want to invite me back. They may not like me. I don't know. But brothers, I'm so happy to impart just a little knowledge. I don't want to take the whole time because I want questions. So let's go to, I think I got one more slide if I have that. I may have one more slide. No, go forward. Okay, so before I end, I want to talk about reading, right? I want to talk about reading, right? And we talk about being a leader, but you got to have something in your repertoire, right? Leaders read all types of things, right? And that's why I just put several books that I've read throughout the years. And, you know, notice the caption, leaders are readers, right? I used to get this thing when brothers try to challenge each other. I said, if you want them to know something, just put it in a book. Matter of fact, Brother Grant, if you want them to know something, just put it in an oracle. Because they ain't gonna read it. They ain't gonna read it. Leaders are readers. Brothers, we need to start reading more. Knowledge is power. Knowledge once gained sheds light beyond its immediate boundaries. Right? That should have resonated to some of y'all. Right? Knowledge once gained. So when you look at these, and these are just a couple of books, I highlight a couple on emotional intelligence, because I think that is an important component of leadership. Everyone talks about IQ, but this thing called EQ, it really tops the scales when we talk about leadership, right? When you talk about your authentic self and being your best you. Sometimes we want to make people us. I tell them, no, I want to make you your best you, right? Don't try to follow me. I want you to be better than me. Right. Be your best you, okay? So, brothers, I got one last thing. Well, I may have 2 or 3 before I take questions, because I get kind of excited when I'm up here. But what I like to do before I end, when we talk about leadership, I want to say thank you to all the people that's sitting up here on this stage. My brothers, this is our leadership. You gotta take ownership of it. Yeah, it's worth a hand praise. Yes, a hand clap. Our leadership. And I thank you for your leadership every day. Brothers, I'm gonna open it up for any questions that you may have, and be very honest. Any questions? Next slide, please.